Job Creators Network, it's a nonpartisan free market and advocacy group for entrepreneurs. They denounced the Democrats for blocking the relief bill over the weekend. President and CEO of the network stating millions of small businesses and employees around the country need the relief that this bill offered. Millionaires like Pelosi and Schumer obviously don't need to worry about these concerns facing their constituents. It's time they stop playing chicken with the livelihoods of millions of Americans just so they can stick it to Trump. So joining us now is the Chief Communications Officer of Job Creators Network, Elaine Parker. Elaine, thank you for being with us this morning. Now, Job Creators Network, it's a nonpartisan group. So can you explain what you all do with your business and why your CEO decided to call out Democrats specifically?
Sure. We're a national small business advocacy organization, and we represent small business around the country. There's 30 million small business owners. They employ 60 million people. So that's 90 million people dependent on the success of small business. We've been advocating for small business for the last few weeks and providing ideas and feedback to not only the White House, but members in Congress on what small businesses need and need for support as a lifeline, essentially, to bridge us back to the economic prosperity that we had, because small business really drives this economy, and small business is really going to drive us out of this crisis once the health crisis is over.
Yeah, exactly right. We keep pointing this out again. There's a health crisis, but there's an economic crisis happening right before our very eyes as well. I live here in Manhattan. We both do. You go outside, you see stores. I mean, it's just completely closed. You see restaurants completely closed. This is the case really throughout the nation right now. So how important is this relief package to small businesses that may have shuttered their doors? How important is this new bill, and would we need more for our small businesses?
Well, the provision within the CARES Act that was passed last night unanimously by the Senate provides small business owners with basically forgivable loans. They're loans that small businesses can take to not only fund their payroll for their employees and bring back employees that they may have furloughed, but to keep their doors open, to pay the mortgage interest on their mortgages, to pay the rent, the utilities, things to bridge us back to our economic prosperity. And not only that, provide paychecks for their employees. And that's an important feature there, because we believe at Job Creators Network, and our members believe, that it's a better investment of taxpayer dollars to pay for employees, to use taxpayer dollars to keep employees employed and not separated from these companies, versus pay for them to be unemployed. And we believe that the result of that will be a faster recovery, as long as these employees are still connected and attached to their places of business.
You know, the president hoping to bring back businesses by Easter. Some say, of course, that might be a bit too soon when considering the health crisis that we're dealing with right now. But Elaine, can you give us a realistic idea of how long these businesses can go without making income from customers at this point? You know, can they survive several months? Can we expect that they're capable of doing that?
So small business owners, we call them Main Street small business owners. These are your hair salons and your dry cleaners and your restaurant owners. They're really hurting. And, you know, every Friday that goes by that they don't have this lifeline is another Friday that they have to contemplate, how do I make payroll when I have no revenue coming in? This bill in the CARES Act provides 8 weeks of basically revenue to cover those expenses. We think it's going to be a rough 60 to 90 days, and there may be areas of the country that do come back sooner than others that aren't being as affected as bad, or areas of the country that locally they're able to battle the pandemic and slow the spread faster. And if that's the case, then I'm all for putting a goalpost out there that gives people hope to shoot for something. Right now, it's Easter. Maybe there'll be another goalpost for another area of the country that's hurt a little bit more, and we'd be okay with that. But we just want to see people get the lifeline that they need, small business get the lifeline that they need to keep their employees paid and their doors open.
Yeah, people are pretty much guessing at this point. President Trump at his most recent conference said that they will reassess with the advisors, and they will have an answer on day 15. So I know a lot of people are waiting for that. Elaine, let me ask you this. We see people laid off. This is happening throughout the country, millions claiming unemployment. Are there other job opportunities out there? Because we see these reports of Amazon is hiring right now and others. What are you seeing?
Well, I've seen the same reports. There are companies, Walmart, I've seen Walmart say they're hiring, Amazon say they're hiring. Look, there's going to be a lot of pent-up consumption for people who are staying home and not going out. And, it's obviously showing itself in online ordering and deliveries. And, I myself have made some online orders to Amazon too. It's pent-up consumption. So, like I said, the faster we can get the pandemic under control, the health crisis, the faster we can get our businesses back up and running and our employees back to work, and that pent-up consumption is going to help springboard our economy back to where we were. Because the reality is we have good policies in place. Those underlying policies haven't gone away. Just 1 month ago, we had record job numbers, record unemployment in every demographic across the board. So the fundamentals still exist. We need to get through this crisis. This CARES Act is a bridge to get us back there.
Yeah, I know all of us will not take just going out to eat dinner at a restaurant for granted anymore. All right, that's Elaine Parker. She's the Chief Communications Officer of Job Creators Network.